Welcome back to Breakfast Daily on City TV. Our hashtag is Breakfast Daily, and our WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. Now, it's time for us to get into a segment we like to call Hello, Mr. President. Now, this is where you, wherever you are in the country, can send us a short video or a short message just explaining to us some issues you're facing in your community and why you want to bring it to the president's attention. And then we here at City TV and Breakfast Daily will talk about it on your behalf. And hopefully it will get to the ears of those who need to hear. So there's all the information for you. Just record a 60-second video of yourself telling the president the problems you face living in Ghana. Or you can address him in a write-up of no more than 250 words. You can email that to hellomrpresident.tv@gmail.com, or you can send it to our WhatsApp line 0550-585832. And each and every Wednesday, we'll deal with that on this segment. Today, we're taking a trip to Saboba in the northern region, where they've been dealing a lot with the effects of flooding. Heavy downpour has caused lots of havoc, particularly to some of their major roads. Now, we'll take a look at a video that came in regarding the situation there, and we'll see if we can speak to someone in authority who can give us some answers as to how they plan to deal with this.
It's like this part of the country, I don't know whether we are also part of Ghana. Look, the Kwalaba road is already cut off. And today, the only alternative is Wapuli. And Yambabuni, as we speak now, any movement from now, it will also be cut off. So what happened to the people around this area? Are we Togolese or we are Ghanaians? A lot of talking on this road. Nothing is being done about it. Not government upon government. They don't seem to care whether we are also part of Ghana. Why should some people be treated this way? Why? Why should we be treated that way? We are also Ghanaians. If this one is also cut off, how does the people get their daily bread? Our children that want to go to school elsewhere, how did they go? Because it appears the people of this area doesn't matter as far as the government is concerned. So we are appealing to the government.
So there you saw a resident of Saboba who, as we could see, is obviously perturbed by the situation, and we understand it's an annual occurrence and it's something that happens year-round. So the Yendi Balba Saboba Road is the main Saboba Road, and the Yendi Wapuli Saboba Road, those have been flooded terribly. There are bridges on both roads, but they've been completely submerged, which is making it, as you can imagine, extremely difficult for commuters to travel back and forth. Now, we'll speak to the Assemblyman of the Saboba electoral area, Samuel Atayao, and get some perspective from him. Then we can figure out what exactly is being done to rectify the situation. Samuel, good morning and welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So, as Assemblyman of the Saboba electoral area, I'm sure this issue is not one that is foreign to you. Can you just give us an idea of what residents are facing on a daily basis with the downpour that is causing this, with the roads being submerged or damaged because of that rainfall, and what steps have been taken or are being taken to try to solve the problem?
Thank you so much for having me on your show. I want to say good morning to your panelists. Good morning to the President, good morning Ghana, and to the people of Saboba. But before I proceed, I want to make some corrections. I am the Assembly member for Zogbeli electoral area.
All right, thank you for that correction.
Yes, thank you. As you can see by the footage, I believe your panelists or whoever is watching CCTV is seeing this moment. This situation has been a year-round situation. Every year by this time, Saboba is completely cut off. And it has been there for years. Governments upon governments come and go. The immediate past government awarded that particular road on contract, as we're told, and heard from social media and most of the government officials. And then the current government took over. As we speak, we don't know what is happening. Last year, we were told they were going to work on the bridge, and that it was awarded on contract to Sino Hydro project. And very soon, they will be working on it, and it will be a thing of the past. Here comes another season. We are still facing those challenges. Palaba, Saboba, the Mon Yendi road is one of the major trunk roads linking Saboba to Yendi and other parts of the country. And the other alternative road is Saboba Wapuli Yendi road. Palaba Yendi road, Saboba, as we talk now, nobody can try. The only way you can cross there is by canoe, which is very dangerous, as you can see it. And the other alternative we have is Saboba Wapuli Yendi road. And that one is also cutting off. Yesterday, if you were there to see how people are struggling and trucks are struggling, yesterday being Saboba market is to cross. And I know very soon that place will be completely submerged. And that means we are disconnected from the country. The only road is Saboba Chirepone road. And from Saboba Chirepone, Saboba Yendi road is another issue. There are heavy and big potholes on the road that trucks flying that road is also having the same challenge. So it means very soon Saboba will be completely disconnected. And our business, our daily activity, we buy the market women, the shop operators and whoever, all the departmental office, our original capital is Tamale. And you can imagine what is happening. So the people of Saboba, we don't know what is happening. We don't know whether we are not part of Ghana or we are not part of the national cake. Every year this thing will come. Government upon government will come and go, and this program continue to exist. So we don't know what is actually happening.
Now, Samuel, I mean, you've given us a pretty good picture of just how devastating this is. So it's affecting livelihoods, it's affecting travel. But you're saying that before the transition in government some years ago, it was awarded on a contract. Was any work started at all? What happened to that contract? And now you say that one of the roads is under the, the Sino Hydro Roads project?
Yes, that road in particular was awarded on contract. And it was supposed to have been tied from Yendi to Saboba and from Saboba to Chirepone in the northeast region.
Was any work started on it at all?
Yes, what has started from Yendi, you see that they have tied the road up to Palaba, where the bridge is. They almost got to the bridge, and then this transition came, and then they left it there. And ever since then, up to date, no contractor has stepped foot on that road. And last year, by this time, when the floods came, our DC and the regional minister and some officials, government officials, were there to assess the level of the flooding. And then we were promised, the people of Saboba district were promised that come this year, it will be a thing of the past, because that particular bridge was a bridge that was awarded to under Sino Hydro project. And very soon, all the materials and the sticks and whatever that is matter to construct that particular bridge has arrived in Ghana, and very soon they'll be working on it. And as we speak, we have not heard anything. Just last week, we were told that the Minister of Roads and Highways was to come and assess the place. And all we got to know later was that he was coming with an helicopter, and the humidity wasn't good, so he couldn't come, and he left it. Wow. And I was imagining, if you are coming to assess the level of damage on the road, and you are coming with helicopter, how will you get the true picture of it? So I don't know what the people in governance upon government are telling the people of Saboba. So all we know is that.
Yes, Samuel, sorry, not to cut in, but you did mention the DC. Now, we know that the president is still yet to finalize his list of DCs and MCs. Do you think that could be part of the problem? That maybe the delay is this year, as you were told, the project will be worked on. Maybe the delay has something to do with that perhaps we're still waiting for that list to be finalized. And when that transition happens, perhaps they will commence or continue with the project. Have you heard anything that could be related to that, or anything like that that could be hampering the progress of this?
I don't think that will be a major problem, but it could be part of the problem. it will not be a major problem because as at the time the minister visited the scene, he was not acting. He was the district chief executive for Saboba district. He wasn't acting. And then up to now, what they were telling the people of Saboba, I didn't expect that project or that particular bit to be a problem to solve by now. But it could be part of the problem because for now he's acting. And if there's any major activity that he's supposed to do, I don't think he has the right, the privilege to sign some documents as an acting DC. So that is why I say it's not a major problem, but it could be part of the problem with regards to this season.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Samuel, we greatly appreciate your time and for shedding more light on this for us. We're going to have a word with your DCE, hopefully, shortly, and hopefully he can clarify this a bit for us. So thank you for your time. Thank you for clarifying some of the issues, and hopefully we can get some answers for you as well.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So that was Samuel Atayao, who's the Assemblyman of Saboba electoral area. Let's talk to the DCE for this area. George Kinya Bingrini is the DCE of Saboba. We've heard of the issues. We've seen what's going on there with the flooding, the damage it's causing, the inconvenience, which is probably an understatement, the inconvenience it's causing to the residents of that area and to commuters. And as Samuel said, if something isn't done soon, then Saboba will be completely cut off from the rest of the region. So if George is on the line, we'd like to get his take on this. Good morning, George. Hello, George, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, fantastic. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So I'm not sure if you are privy to the conversation we just had with Samuel, but we've been talking about the flood damage that is affecting major roads in your district. Now, what updates can you give us? We understand that the road was awarded on contract some years ago after transition of government. Work stopped on the road, and that there's been a promise that work will continue this year. So can you give us an update on what the status is on repairs for the major roads that connect Saboba to other areas of the region?
Thank you very much. I'm grateful to be speaking to you this morning. Yes, it is true that the road, especially that of Paraba, that leads to Yendi from Saboba, was awarded to a contractor. The contractor had been on it for some time and then stopped due to non-payment. The contract is not abrogated, but because the contractor was not paid, he could not continue the work. But as I talk to you now, the contractor has been paid. Unfortunately, he was paid at the time that the flooding had also started. Okay. And so as soon as the flooding recedes, the contractor will come back to roads. But there's one thing I want to make clear here. The contractor working on that road is not the same contractor who is supposed to do the steel bridge on the river. It's a different thing to get all together.
Okay.
They have come, the engineers have come from highways, engineers have come from roads and highways ministry to do feasibility study on the bridge.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, George, I'm still here.
Yes. So the contractor working on the road that people said he was stopped and that is why the flooding is coming is not actually the case. The contractor is not the one responsible for the bridge. Okay. It's a different thing altogether. The ministry is working on it to award it to a contractor.
Okay.
The last time, somewhere February this year, the engineers came from the Ministry of Roads and Highways to look at the bridge and go to do their final drawings.
Okay.
So as we talk now, the bridge issue is at a stage of being awarded to a contractor. And so, but currently, it has not yet been awarded, and there's no contractor working on the bridge as we talk now. But the one on the road itself, last week I spoke with the regional highway director, and he assured me that he spoke with the contractor was paid, and then he is supposed to come back to site.
All right.
Unfortunately, the flood has taken over, and so we are just waiting for the flood to recede then the contractor will come and continue the road work.
George,
the ministry is also doing everything possible to award the bridge to a contractor.
Okay, just a quick one though. Now we understand not just from Samuel but from some other residents that this is a year-round occurrence. So at what point do you think the floodwaters will recede such that the contractor can come back to site and continue the work? What timelines are we looking at here?
We are looking at about a month's time.
A month?
Yes.
So that's actually quite soon.
Actually, it depends on the level of the water. This year, the flooding is not like last year. Last year, it took us not less than 2 months to get the roads cleared. But this year, the flooding is not as much as the previous years. So hopefully, by the close of this month, the flood will recede. Even as we talk now, I met some fishermen this morning, and they told me that at the riverside, the water is receding.
Okay.
And so hopefully by the end of the month, the water will recede, and then the road contractor will come back. I am also making all the necessary contact with the ministry to get to see to it that the street bridge is awarded to a contractor to come and also start that one.
Okay. Now, we also understand that the minister was supposed to come and assess the damage. He was coming by helicopter, but something prevented him from doing that. How true is that? And what actually caused him to not be able to come? And
oh, yes. That was last 2 weeks. Minister was in Tamale to assess the road issues in Tamale town when it rained, due to some heavy rain. And as part of his activity, he was to visit the bridge to see it for himself. Unfortunately, that morning it rained, and they were supposed to come by heli. It rained and the weather wasn't clear, so they couldn't come. So it was as a result of bad weather that prevented him from coming. Okay,
but he was going to at least come and assess on the ground what was happening. I think there was some concern that for him to assess the road properly, he wouldn't be able to do it from air. He would have to be actually on the ground.
Yeah, he was not coming to do it on air. He was supposed to land and then walk to the bridge and then assess it.
All right. Now, George,
he was not just coming to fly over it.
Okay, great. Thank you for that clarification. Now, with regard to a road like this that is prone to flooding, what materials, I'm not a technical person or engineer, but the materials that will be used to fix this road, will they be able to withstand this year-round occurrence? I mean, this is a road that floods frequently, and it's an issue that's been going on for years. How sure are we that even...
is what is causing the delay in the construction of the bridge.
Okay.
A serious feasibility study is needed to be done on it before it is awarded. Otherwise, if we hasten in awarding it to a contractor to come, definitely, and they are not able to do proper assessment of the road, especially where the river is. They could do a bridge that may not help us. And so this is last February was about the third time engineers have come to look at it. And so we are very sure that one street bridge would be covered both sides of the river will solve the problem.
All right. George, very quickly before we go, we know that we're still waiting for the president to release his final list of DCs and MCEs. Do you have any indication whether you'll be staying on to see this project through to completion?
With all hopes, I am sure that I have been able to do the work to the admiration of the president and the people of Saboba.
All right.
Even though it is a contest, I didn't go in alone. I had other people who are looking in the same position. But I know God will see me through.
Okay. All right, George. All the best to you. And we sincerely hope that this road will be fixed at the soonest possible time, because we can see the havoc that it's causing in your district. I can assure
you that by the close of the year.
Oh, it looks like he was giving us an assurance before we lost him, but that was the district chief executive for Saboba district. We thank you so much for joining us, George Kinyab Bingrini. Thank you for your insight, and thanks as well to Samuel, who is the assemblyman for the electoral area, who also gave us a good sense of the problem that's occurring there with this major road consistently being flooded. So we'll keep following up on that story to see how how much progress is made and how soon that progress will be made on that road. All right. Thank you so much again for joining us for Hello, Mr. President. As I mentioned, you can send in videos or messages regarding any issue in your community, and we'll raise that issue for you. So just send us a WhatsApp message, 0550-585832, or you can send a short video, no longer than 60 seconds. All right. Now, before we go, though, we understand the Member of Parliament for Saboba wants to speak. His name is Honorable Nikwe. So let's hear from him quickly before we wrap up. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Madam.
Good morning, Honorable. So we've been discussing your area, and I'm sure you are quite familiar with the situation with the flooding on the major road that links Saboba to other areas of the northern region. Now, we've spoken to the DCE. We've spoken to the Assemblyman for the electoral area, and they've both given us a lot more insight into the issue and some assurances as well as to the timeliness of fixing the issue. Now, what would you like to add to this?
Well, just to add that it is fact that every year this is what we go through in the Saboba district. Saboba has a very viable market that is patronized by 3 regions in addition to the northern region. That is the Savannah region, the Oti region, and the northern region. All come to Saboba market to do their businesses. Every year we are cut off from the rest of the country. You know, we have River Oti that floods the area every year. Now, this year I put a question to the minister, reminding him of this land. Isn't good enough. It was not encouraging. It didn't bring any hope. And I'm shocked that this is talking of a contract. He actually told me there was no any budget, and this, if you check in the parliamentary handsets, you will see that I've actually put a question on the Saboba.
Really? So the information we got about the fact that the contract has already been awarded, the contractor was just awaiting payment, and work will start as soon as the water recedes. You are saying that is not accurate?
Those contracts were awarded in the Domama's regime, and after we lost power in 2016, they were stopped up to date. Nobody has worked on those roads. There were contracts that were awarded in 2014 and 2015. That is the Saboba Yendi
all right,
route.
Honorable, unfortunately we're out of time, but we will, as we said, we'll keep following this story. But thank you for calling us and joining the conversation. And so those of you watching, if you're in that area, we will still try to get more answers. But the DCE says it will be fixed, and it will be fixed soon. The MP is saying something else, but let's see what actually happens on the ground. Thank you for watching Hello, Mr. President, and for watching Breakfast Daily.